Hello, comic book party people, and welcome to another live episode of Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So today we're going to be talking about books that came out this past week, recap and review them, tell you what we thought about them, and then recommend comic books that are coming out this week that we think that you should check out that are coming out literally tomorrow, unless you're watching the show after the fact. If you are, you should be checking out the show live on Mondays around between 5:30 and 6 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Otherwise, you can check us out on Spotify and other places where podcasts will listen to. But you will catch it like after, so just a little bit of an incentive. Come on by youtube.com/ComicPop Returns, give the video a like, and then subscribe to the channel and click the bell for notifications so you never miss a beat that's happening out here at Comic Pop and our whole enterprise that is now 3 channels strong. If you haven't already checked it out, this channel just dropped a number of videos that are a lot of fun. The first of which was our little excerpt from this week's episode of Back Issues, which is over on our other channel, youtube.com/ComicPop. And that was our Justice League Last Ride episode. Tiffany and Ethan and myself chatted about Chip Zdarsky's Last Ride. Great episode and a really fun book in general. If you haven't already, you should check out that book and buy it. Otherwise, there's a little moment though where we talked about Justice League and the follies that the pitfalls that plague that title on a near constant basis. It must have been posted somewhere because one day we got 7 comments that were all like, shut up. Which I thought was kind of funny. I no complaints. I'm just so clearly somebody was like, hey, I just heard these 3 people talk about this thing. What do you guys think? It's usually a Reddit post. And then somebody goes, what do I think? I think these 3 are idiots and unqualified to talk about what they're talking about. And I'm like, I don't know. I mean, how many years do you dedicate to a subject before you're kind of an expert in the subject? I feel like all of us are at this point.
Well,
experts.
You for sure.
Well, certainly, I wouldn't self-categorize myself as an expert, but I do appreciate when people call me one. I'll
It's just
maintain.
because people can't separate themselves from subjectivity and objectivity. They just can't do it.
What a shock.
Can't do it.
Hard to believe. But but that's a fun conversation we had. But there's also a new episode of GBU in which we cover the Peter David Hulk, a smattering of Peter David Hulk books. And those were a lot of fun. If you haven't already checked out that video, you absolutely should.
Yes.
And it emboldened me to talk more about, runs for people. Although I'm not going to do that next time. Next time I want to do Iron Man and 3 different armors.
Oh, okay.
So that's the next one, I think.
Okay.
But yeah, if you would subscribe, you'd know that these videos are out. And they're great. They're really fun. Also, good looking. A couple of videos.
Yeah.
And an upcoming video is really exciting. So keep an eye out for the community tab to participate in that episode, at least by filling out the poll that we're going to be doing when that episode drops. And that's coming out, I think, on Thursday. But tomorrow, little interview with a writer named Mark Waid. Yeah, we already did that, but there's another one, brand new one, and it's out directly coinciding with Lazarus Planet Alpha. So you should check out that conversation as well. That'll drop probably around 1 p.m. Eastern. So check out that as well.
Nice.
Bunch of books came out this week. I'm excited to talk about some of them.
Okay.
I read Goblin, Christopher Cantwell, Leon Medina. This reminded me, and I did that thing where I said I would do this. I forgot to read Goblin 2. But you know what? Not much of a stretch to go back and read one other issue.
Right.
But I read this and it continues to be really good. It's really well written. Although I will say that this issue in particular, not as strong as the previous, feels a little bit like wheel spinny.
Okay.
And it's only 3 issues and it's like a super mini series, but no less strong in its writing and its art. The art really great. Maintains this consistency, realism, fun, balances action and drama very well. No complaints. But the previous issue was the one where it was Norman Osborn's hey, I want to do this. I'm dealing with my, my sins got blown out of my body with a magic shotgun. Yep, that'll never be stupid. But Asha Kafka got them infused into her body, which is even more stupid, and she became the Queen Goblin, not to be confused with the Goblin Queen, who is also in charge of the Dark Web, which, of course, is a tie-in to this whole series.
I feel like the Goblin Queen should be excuse me,
what even is this?
What are you doing?
What's also funny is that, in this issue in particular, the previous issue, Asha Kafka's I'm Queen Goblin, blah, I'm all your sins, now I'm going to kill you. And Norman's like, damn it. because he's got no sins, but he's got the memories of them. So he's like, maybe I'll have my memories removed, like Ben Reilly did. And Kafka's like, no, because I'm Queen Goblin. Blah, I'm gonna get you. And then this third issue, Norman's like, where is she? I want to kill her because if I kill her, my sins will die. And
Did you just decide you're the Queen Goblin?
I think they called her. I think the Beyond Corporation called her that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's all about marketing.
Okay.
But yeah, he's just like looking for. And that's what's so funny is that like in the second issue, it's like, oh, okay, we're setting up. Norman's gonna fight Queen Goblin.
Sure.
Makes sense. Perfect.
All right.
Third issue, he can't find her.
Where is she?
Yeah, and that's all. Also, Jack-O-Lantern, like he beat the crap out of him, almost killed him, or at least seemingly killed him in the first issue. Nope. And then he hooks up with Norman, he attacks him, and then they chat, and Norman's like, you know what? I'm a bad father. Maybe I'll chill out. So they're like friends now. It's like, okay. And when you talk about it out loud, when you're summarizing, it sounds kind of dumb. But when you read it, it's less dumb.
So it's Jack-O-Lantern, All Hallows Eve.
Oh, there's a lot of
Queen,
goblins.
The Queen Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Hobgoblin.
Gold Goblin.
Demo Goblin.
Demo Goblin hasn't been in action in a long time.
Gold Goblin.
Multiple Hobgoblins. At least 2 Hobgoblins.
Yeah.
And of course, if Gabriel comes back, we got Gray Goblin.
Spider-Man needs more werewolf villains.
I agree.
Really, to complete his Halloween
menagerie.
thing.
Yeah.
He's got vampires.
He's got vampires.
He's got goblins.
Mm-hmm. He's got ghosts.
Yeah.
Or at least, those that haunt him, like Uncle Ben, Gwen Stacy.
Yeah, so he needs some werewolves.
Yeah, he needs some werewolves and ghosts. I think
some
like
mummies.
There's few ghost themed villains that I'd like to see. I know. Well, it's funny.
How does one punch a ghost?
Well,
yeah, it's not strange.
Doesn't Batman? Yeah, in Batman the Detective, he has like ghost punching gauntlets. But that's a Batman book.
Yeah.
Anyway, I recommend it. It's a fun book, or at least it's
plasma webs.
Hey,
or
see,
plasm webs.
Plasm webs. I like that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Great opportunity for Doc and Spider-Man to work together. He's like, I have to fight ghosts. What do I do?
Mm-hmm.
He's like, okay, there's this element that you can find. It's actually found in this common mushroom that's like growing on the east side. So he has to work it into.
Glowy and
yeah, that'd be great. You can get a anti-ghost or ghost-busting armor. Yeah, or suit rather. His anti-ghost suit.
He's got goggles that can show him where ghosts are.
Yeah. Writes itself.
We're giving this away for free.
I know, it's really frustrating.
This one's for free.
Because we have at least 2 massive Spider-Man event pitches.
Just put us
this
in
would
the
be
comic
another one.
as people going like, oh
no. Yeah, I'll take that. I will take that. But if we were to ever get into the bullpen, I would like to execute. That's a 2-year. We have at least 2 years worth of Spider-Man stories ready to go.
Yeah, you're gonna write a hell of a story.
You are not gonna believe it. You'll be like, oh my god, every day is like a new crazy ass adventure. Man, it's dope. 3 arcs. The ghosts are coming up. That's the first one.
Ghosts are the first one.
I think it should be because then it's like, oh, ghosts. It's fun. It's whimsical. We get a nice. We get a PlayStation 7 outfit out of the whole deal.
Mm-hmm. All right, we got this.
Anyway, so it's good. It's good. It's a little like the third one was a little weaker than the second one, but it all works.
Okay.
I should also mention at this point that we are sponsored by today's show by you. If you're watching the show live, you're sponsoring today's show by using Super Chats. If you ask a question or comment in the Super Chat, we'll read it here on the show, and that's our little tit for tat. So we want to thank you very much for sponsoring today's show. If you are of a mind, like a few other good people here, Brian Rollins, for example. What's the matter?
Oh, apparently the audio sync issue goes away when you're showing the comic.
Great. That's a new thing that we have to deal with now.
Fun stuff.
Brian Rollins has met Steve Orlando at a local comic book store. He's from my hometown of Syracuse. Was a great guy. Should have him on the show. ComicPop rules. Thank you very much, Brian.
Thank you.
Yeah, I've never met Steve, but I'm glad to know that he's a good guy.
Stand-up dude.
Yeah, that's always comforting to know.
That is nice to know.
Jose Rivera, is there any storyline or series you love but don't want to see adapted into a show or film? For one reason or another, I love Robinson's Starman and Ellis's Planetary, and I feel like they're perfect as comics. I think we all know what Tiffany's answer is going to be.
Saga.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was rereading the question. I'm like, what? Yeah.
I don't know if I have like a thing that's very precious to me that I'm like, oh no, don't do that. But I am kind of like, I'm so heavily aware of the conversation that goes on. It's been going on forever. It's not something new. The issue of immediately hoping that Hollywood will validate comic books in some way. I'm kind of like, you did it. It's great. Like if like All-Star Superman.
Mm.
It's great. You know, they had Dwayne McDuffie adapted, and it's nice. You know, it's a good adaptation. But it's a good adaptation. You know, All-Star Superman's still a great, if not fantastic, comic book. And it's a fine cartoon.
Mm.
You know? And all of them are that way. Like there's no version of Spider-Man that I think is better than the comic book.
Right.
And it's the case all the time. Like the strongest praise I've ever heard about Batman or the Batman is it's like the comic book.
Right.
I'm like,
You're
yeah.
like, what's wrong
And you know
with
what's
that?
like the comic book every friggin' month? Batman. You can go check it out.
That's true.
If only like if a tenth of the audience came and watched it, or read it rather, the comic book industry wouldn't have any problems whatsoever.
It's true. So here's what I'm going to do to help with the audio sync. I'm just going to hide my mouth behind the microphone so you don't notice as much when I talk.
And I guess I'll have to investigate what the F is happening.
It must be something with the program.
Like
if
with
it's only
StreamYard?
happening there.
I guess we're just done with StreamYard then. I can just drop it because, you know, it's cheaper if I don't use it
That's true.
anymore. I'm happy to save the money. Ali Alziadi, hello to you. Hope you're doing well. Well, thank you very much, Tiffany.
Thank you. I'm doing okay.
Did you see Cumberbatch's thoughts on Doctor Strange 2 in that he thought the movie wasn't dark enough, and he also wondered if Strange even had a character arc? Well, we all know he didn't, and it wasn't. So, I mean, I can't argue with him on that front.
All right.
Did he also talk about how the movie was goofy and stupid?
Maybe that's what he meant by not dark enough.
That could be. That's a very
There was
diplomatic way of putting it.
Well, he's British.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah. Yeah. He should come on the show. I'd love to talk to him about it. Nick Prado, looking handsome, Sal. Thanks a
Yes,
lot.
he is.
I appreciate it. I disagree, but I'll take the compliment. Vincent Brown, love the content you guys have been putting out in the new year. Excited to catch it live. Me too, man. I'm very excited about what we're doing this year.
Yeah,
and what we've got planned. We need to catch up and really hit the ground running with 2023. No plans. Like this is kind of like a rudderless year, but like last year was really rudderless. This year we're like, no, we are going to deliberately produce at the minimum what you come to expect from this channel and then over deliver when we can.
That's the plan.
With 2022, it was like, what are we doing? How are we going to do it? What's going to be the plan? It's very nebulous.
Mm-hmm.
Feels like a kind of like all over the place year. This is the year where we're just like doing the job. Swordfish 97 has a great super sticker of looks like a chickadee or a lemon man.
It's a superhero lemon.
It's a superhero lemon.
And a little
guy.
And a little like lime or pear
little
guy.
Lime or pear guy. Thank you very much, Swordfish. Appreciate the super sticker. Those are great. Chase Eichler, hey guys, glad to catch you live. I picked up Danger Street and it's awesome. Huge recommend for both of you. I think you'll really like it. Yeah, I read it. I liked it. It was not as strong as the others that he's done, but I like it well enough. It's objectively a fine comic book. It didn't grab me like other books have, but it's still fine. Mm-hmm. Agent Donut 007, looking very handsome, Sal. Okay, thank you very much. Thoughts on Spider-Man Lost the number 2? I'm not reading it, but
you said like you're like, hang on, I'm gonna get into this, and you're like, never mind.
No, well, I number one, I don't know what I'm doing differently. To get 2 unsolicited handsome comments, I appreciate it. I don't agree, but I do appreciate it. I think Tiffany's looking rather ravishing today, but yeah,
no, I'm
thank
looking
you.
like I came from work.
But as far as what you did, yeah, Spider-Man Lost number 2, I have no idea. I don't even know what that is. To be perfectly honest with you. Mordecai, hey gang, bought Tales from Earth 6. Found it a lot of fun. Would be cool if they made this into a bi-monthly anthology series or something. Probably won't happen though. Just nabbed the Just Imagine Omnibus on sale that very same day. That's great. I have both the omnibus and that issue. And yeah, it's fun. It's fun. It's not like it didn't break, new ground or anything, but it was still a fun little reminder that exists. And I'm glad that they're using it because it means they're not afraid of it. Yeah,
right.
Like Grant Morrison used, I think, the Green Lantern of the Just Imagine universe in one of their runs, and it was like, well, of course, Grant Morrison can do whatever they want, But in this case, I'm glad that DC is like, no, we can use it and we will. Like, good, all right, and thank you very much for your support, Monica. What did you read? Anything fun? I'm sure there was plenty. I mean, there's a lot of X books that came out.
I read lots of fun stuff.
I know you did.
I read I just want to give a shout out to The Approach number 3.
The what?
The Approach. It's a boom book. By Jeremy Hahn. No, yeah, by Jerry Hahn. I am right. I'm like, haha. I'm like, no, I'm not. No, got it. Jeremy Hahn and Jason Hurley.
Yeah.
And illustrated by Jesus Hervas and Leah Caballero. Mm-hmm. I really like this series so far. It's like cold horror snowy horror.
I remember you talking about that. You were describing it as
Love me some snowy horror.
Snorer.
Big fan of that type of thing. This issue I felt was a little. It was fine. It wasn't like bad. I just wasn't like as like.
It was gripping.
It felt a little wheel spinny, and I thought this was only 5 issues, but maybe I'm wrong. But I'm like, I would not have an issue like this at the halfway point, or even close to the halfway point. So we'll see. I'm really digging it though still. So don't take that as like a don't pick it up.
No.
I just feel like this issue was just not as strong as the first 2.
Gotcha.
Still good.
Okay. The approach.
Just wanted to give it a shout out because
like I'm sure it's not selling great.
I don't know. I just seriously love like snowy isolation horror.
The thing
like,
horror, yeah.
I don't know what that is. Like
I
literally just found a podcast that is that, and I'm freaking loving it. Like I'm like, what is it? What is that? What is that?
Arctic horror. That would be what I call it.
Yeah. So I read that. So I wanted to just be like, hey, I did that. I also read Scarlet Witch #1.
Hey, good for you. I didn't.
That's written by Steve Orlando with art by Sarah Pacelli.
That's where she went.
Yes, it's 3 issues.
Oh, okay.
It's 3 issues to get in on this. It's fine.
Yeah.
I am not dazzled by this at all. Even though, like, it's magic and dazzling. I'm not saying I won't read the others. I'm just not like, yeah, holy crap, like this is a must read. Sure. Like if you are a fan of Wanda and have just been missing her, this is her kind of getting back to not being the punching bag of the X-Men.
Right. Well, I think she got an entire event where they like literally used continuity to retcon her not being that anymore.
I know, but I'm also thinking of it in terms of like there's no real attachment to them at all. It's just her having a shop somewhere with a door called the Last Door, and like if you open the last door, you're there because like you're at like the end of your rope and you need help.
Okay.
And like she's gonna help you.
All right.
Like it's an interesting pitch.
Yeah.
This issue was a little interestingly paced, and I'm saying interesting in that way that like you've maybe heard parents or other family members say to you when they try something and they don't like it, but they don't want to feel bad.
Sure.
You feel bad about.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Interesting.
I was not a fan of the pacing of this book. There was a lot of like trying, and I get you have to do this. It was just a little overt sometimes, where it was like, oh my gosh, like Pietro shows up.
Okay.
And something happens and we see him, and like there's another character there who is new, so it makes sense to say these types of things. But like she's like, no, it's like it's not the wind, it's my brother, and I'm like, okay.
Okay. Yeah.
So like it's not like it's bad.
No.
It's just the pacing was
off
and weird.
Sure.
For me. That said, it does end you on like you're gonna read issue 2.
Yeah.
Cause like they, it's like, all right, let's introduce like. The problem is I know this is 3 issues, and like this kind of like this first issue dragged its feet a little bit, and I'm like,
we have 2 issues of story.
You got 3 issues here, and like I feel like we kind of like we need some establishing stuff. We did that. We checked those boxes, and there's just a little bit of time where we're like maybe just reveling in the page real estate more than we should be. It's like just tighten it up a little bit, just a little bit. So it's like, we got to establish like Wanda owns a shop. She's trying to give back to like the world because she feels like she's done a whole lot of bad. So she wants to try to like, balance those scales, right? Mm-hmm. There's a girl there called Darcy who looks like Darcy from the Thor movies, but isn't, I don't think.
I think it is. I remember them saying they were going to introduce her.
Is it? Because it looks just like her. They just call her Darcy, but they like she's there and we don't know why yet. Pietro shows up. It's like, hey, that's her brother. Okay, cool. And then this girl shows up. They go on an adventure in Italy, and then like, okay, cool. And then right at the end, they're like, gonna go for dinner. And then the door opens again, and who's there but Viv Vision?
Oh, okay.
I was like, what? So, I mean, am I gonna read that? Sure. It was not my favorite. Though.
Yeah.
So we'll see. Like. I don't know if this is a pitch for something longer. I heard it was only 3 issues.
It is only 3 issues.
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. Not a hard recommend, I'd say. Can Scarlet Witch support her own book?
Yes.
I mean, she tried.
Did.
That's true.
And I think it was fairly successful. I just think people weren't interested in it. Are other people saying it's not 3 issues?
No, it is.
Oh, okay.
No, they're just saying it isn't.
Oh, okay. Well, right.
And people are just asking because they didn't love
Oh,
it.
okay.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like Scarlet Witch is one of those characters that needs to be on a team.
No, I think she can. I think she absolutely can. The problem is that like there's two different Wandas in a sense. There's like the Wanda, the like, oh my gosh, like I'm having a breakdown.
Yeah.
And, like my powers are out of control, which is often
That's kind of a last idea.
It's often used and leaned upon. And then there's the like Scarlet Witch, who's a peer of Doctor Strange, and like should be having her own adventures. And like, what is she doing all day? Like I don't know.
Yeah.
So I think she can with the right pitch.
Yeah, that's fair.
I don't know what that pitch is.
I'm not sure if this is it.
Yeah, there's something about the like this idea, but I don't know. Like it's almost like it could be a like series in itself, like not with Wanda, but like the Last Door, where it's like any of the magic characters of the Marvel universe sometimes like help people who come through the Last Door. Like
that'd be fun.
There's something there. I don't know. So I'm not discounting it. I'm just saying it was and then like the pacing was just kind of weird for me.
Gotcha. Okay. M says, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you too. I know you probably haven't read Black Cat and MJ #1, but I am interested in your opinions on MJ's new jackpot luck-based powers. I couldn't care less. I'm very not interested in that idea. Mary Jane is stronger without powers. And it's I also don't believe it'll last. I think it's going to be like for the miniseries and then that'll be the end of it.
I poked at that. I looked at it. Like I did that thing you're not supposed to do in comic book stores, where I just kind of flipped through it really quickly, and I was like, okay,
we give enough to comic. We give enough money to comic books. It's okay.
But yeah, I saw those powers and how she's like, don't tell anybody.
Yeah, shut up.
I'm like, okay.
Fine. Carl Maxey, Sal, I think you and Joel should do a video where if the Celestial judged the DC universe, who do you think passes or fails? I think Tiffany and I should do a video on that, because Tiffany actually read Axe and really loved that series, and she had some fantastic insights into that entire concept. We've had really, really great discussions on that on this show, and I think if that were the case, that would be the person I would pick on that one. Philip Croy says, any indie books you're enjoying at the moment? I'm not reading any really independent books at this point right now, but not for lack of, options.
Right.
I just don't have a lot of time to do
that.
Tiffany?
I'll just because we just mentioned it, I like the approach. I'm enjoying that again because it's a very specific style of horror, and I'm digging it. Fair. I look forward to more.
Carl also asked, do you think in part 2 of Across the Spider-Verse will introduce the Inheritors? Because to me, they're like the Doomsday for Spider-Man. Yeah, I mean, I fear they are, and I don't expect to see them because I think they couldn't resist showing them. But I sincerely hope we don't. Cosmic Reader, Happy New Year, ComicPop. Happy New Year to you too,
Happy New Year.
I'm looking forward to Philadelphia Fan Expo this year and my sister's wedding. Well, congratulations to your
sister.
Oh,
that's so nice.
What are you looking forward to this year?
I don't know.
Yeah.
In terms of, if you're talking about comics, I kind of want to know what the Sins of Sinister is going to be all about. I'm way up excited about that.
Yeah. Otherwise, I mean, Con's too far away. We haven't coordinated anything with Joe Kuberts yet, but there's a lot of stuff going on the horizon that we have planned, but I'm very excited about. But not strong enough to really talk about just yet. Denial, Size, and Sal. So is Dark Web like our punishment for something? I mean, it feels so boring. Like someone just threw crap at a wall to see what would stick. I will say it seems like there's actual coordination and work going into at least the execution of it. Although, they were like, Venom's a major player in the story, and then you'll find out why he's acting like that in the next issue. Like that's, poor planning on their part, but like I've seen worse planned events.
Right.
So on one hand, I'm like, they're doing everything I want to see. But on the other, it's like, but I don't want to see anything happening in it.
Right.
But it's not as like disjointed and messy as say like most of Nick Spencer's Spider-Man, which is a shame because he was doing work that I want to see done, but it was such a mess. It was just like, but don't show me.
Exactly.
And what was Riv Wilson's super sticker? Nice. Thank you very much, Riv, for your support, for your super sticker, man. So yeah, what else did we read?
Did we read?
Yeah. Well, we did read Joe Fixit #1.
I did not read this.
Oh, okay. From Peter David and Yildre Snar. This is another one of those Peter David flashback books where it was like, hey, Peter David, do you want to just do like stuff that you did before, like that's set in the past? And he's like, yeah, okay, I'll do that.
Yeah.
This is about, when the Hulk was Joe Fixit and he was like secretly working for the mob. I don't know how they could keep a Hulk-sized secret like that, but they managed to do it. And David does, his patented Peter David style of explanation to showcase and justify that status quo and how that worked. But if you haven't already like figured it out, Joe Fixit is basically just a Spider-Man comic. At least this issue is entirely a Spider-Man comic. The idea being that, Hulk is an enforcer slash like consigliere for a casino owner. Kingpin wants to move in on it, and so you get to finally see Hulk versus Kingpin, which is actually kind of a fun idea, and I like it. And Spider-Man is there because he did appear in a Hulk book during that time written by Peter David, so he's like, okay, well, before Peter went home, he did this, and I'm like,
okay.
Well, you wrote it, you would know, and so he did, and he stays because he sees Kingpin, and he follows him to the casino, and then Mr. Fixit like kicks his ass, and that's the end of it. Like, it's just a fun little story that I have no complaints about. The cover is not great,
no,
like at all, and I'm concerned because I don't think anyone's gonna read it, because like the Joe Fixit thing. Well, I mean, look, Joe Fixit didn't have a logo, so we gotta make one up.
something. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And they're trying to like tie it to
the Vegas thing,
to
but
Vegas or bars,
right? It's just ugly, and then there's this weird perspective on Hulk, which is also ugly. None of it works for me.
right?
Like, there's like weird, like there's an area where it says like the Hulk. Like, it looks like there's a sign hanging off of a lamppost, like, but it's not. Like, there's water behind him, and I don't know what that is. Like,
I think it's a pool.
Yeah,
they're at the pool,
right? But like, I don't know.
And like, there's heaters outside. I
just
don't know.
real.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
By the way, I wanted to explain where I got my like
3 issues.
why it's
thing.
3 issues, because that's what Amazon Comixology has
Yeah.
it at right now. It says book 1 of 3.
Right. And League of Comic Book Geeks, you can actually like look to see when this is the website we use when we show the covers and stuff.
Yeah.
When you click like next, it'll show you like the covers for the upcoming series, and it stops after 3.
Yeah, I'm wondering if it was originally pitched as an ongoing, and then they were like, you can have 3.
That's pretty rough. That's rougher than Supergirl. But
we'll see. I mean, maybe what it is they're going to see how the sales are after 3.
And then just extend it
and extend it or not. Yeah.
But yeah.
I just
don't know,
wanted
man.
to explain.
Okay, fair enough. Samurai Poet 713, keep up the good work, y'all. Thank you very much, Samurai Poet.
Yeah.
As far as Joe Fixit goes, I recommend the issue if you have some extra money, or if you really want to read it but you don't have any extra money, just wait. It'll be in buck bins before you know it.
Oh,
I'm sorry, but these are the harsh realities of buying comic books every month.
okay.
You want to get the important ones or the essentials. Joe Fixit ain't going to be on the top list, but it is fun and it's worth reading, and or at least it was a fun read. And that's every justification I need. If it's fun and I enjoyed it, then there you go. But it's cute, and I enjoyed it for what it was.
Nice.
Krishi Venkatesh, can't watch tonight, but I will catch on the rewatch. Williams' Rogues and Chung's Lonely City both came out in hardback this week. That's right, and I ordered them. They'll be here whenever they get here. I ordered them from In Stock Trades, who refuses to sponsor the show, and that's fine. Whatever. I'll give you a bunch of money, and every week, but whatever. And but I did order through them because they have pretty good prices, and so they'll be here shortly.
Nice.
But yeah, he also mentioned I was struck by how similar they are in concept whilst in different in execution. Interesting. Yeah, I guess that's true. They're both Black Label books about like the future.
Well, like people getting together for one
people
last
getting
ride.
Yeah, one last ride. Oh, another justification for last ride. It's a very inside joke. Watch it on Wednesday.
That's right.
So yeah, what else did you read, Tiffany?
I read Shang-Chi and the Ten Rings.
Yay, we should talk about this.
Yeah, we should talk about this. Which I thought I had downloaded ahead of time, and I didn't.
Yeah. This is Master of the Ten Rings.
Yeah, Master of the Ten Rings. Sorry.
No, it's all right. I just want to make sure when people pre-order this.
Wait, no, it's End the Ten Rings. Oh no, you're right. Sorry, I caught back up. My apologies. I had to catch up with that last one. So I also read issue 6, which was the last one of End the Ten Rings.
I see.
Which completed the fight in which he got the 10 rings, which was really well written, and I enjoyed the hell out of it. And then I saw at the end it was like Jean Lewin Young's like epic Shang-Chi story to be concluded in Shang-Chi Master of the Ten Rings, and I was like, okay.
Concluded.
All right, fine. We're going to be over. So, like, it's going to be one more series, and there we go. I didn't realize this is literally it. This is the last issue.
Right. Like, I thought that this is going to be like another mini, like the last 2.
Yeah, no, this is it. They did 24 issues, and it's done. And I was sad about that. But you know what? It got 24 issues apparently, which I didn't
21
realize.
issues more than Scarlet Witch.
Well, at least according to his afterword, which I read his afterword. And I gotta tell you, the end was really like quite sweet. It It brought some of the family back together. It like leaves Shang in a nice place, and also it includes a little bit of time travel kind of stuff. So like he can meet his dad when he was younger. It's a good little learning lesson for Shang, and it was a nice book. It was very sweet. The afterword I think is wholeheartedly worth reading. I really enjoyed it was just one page by Gene about his experience with Shang-Chi as a child and then coming into writing this book. It was very insightful and I appreciated it. We had a new artist on this one issue, Michael Yeague. I honestly don't know how to say that and I apologize. Did a great job. You know, it was different than the past two artists, but still kind of worked and fit in well. Like, I guess Gene Lewin Young either has got really great taste in artists or they just know who to pull. Like, it's just, he could have a great editor. Who knows? It just all worked. This was a series that I am so glad that I jumped on with issue 1. I never would have thought that I would have been so into
Shang-Chi.
Yeah, Shang-Chi. And like, I don't think I'm necessarily going to go back and pick up anything else. I really, really enjoyed Young's voice for Shang and taking that journey. And if he ever writes any more of it, I will be the first one in line to get more of it.
Of course.
So if you didn't get a chance to check this out, I believe some of the volumes are already out. So you can pick those up either online or at your local comic book store and check it out because it's such a worthwhile read. And you know that there's an ending to it. So you can just read it and, be like, cool, I have this information. And it's just a good story. It's just a lot of fun. And if you saw the movie and you're like, this is neat, but it's not that. It's not exactly that movie at all. You're going to see things from there in this book, but in terms of it just being related to Shang-Chi's mythos. So
gotcha.
it works well in terms of you feeling familiar enough and confident enough to pick up a book if you saw the movie, but also is like, I'm telling my own story and there's a lot of heart to it. So check it out for sure. Like, honestly, I can't recommend it enough. And he's just such a nice guy.
Yeah.
And like, I know I've mentioned this like a million times. Like I mentioned this literally last week. But when we met him in Baltimore Comic-Con, I just such a genuinely friendly dude. Like I said, like if you ever see a writer sitting at a table, go up and say hello.
Yeah.
It's not easy for them to display at a booth. What do you bring with you? Like, like pages of scripts.
Right.
Like do you sell like they're just sitting there, so go up, say hello, tell them how much you like their work because it's not just the artist that brings it to life. Without the words there, they just be drawing random photos or random pictures, and those are cool, but it's not as cool as actually having a creative team together. So Shang-Chi, high recommend. Please go check it out.
Yeah. He's doing the backups for Lazarus Planet.
Yes. So like I kind of fell off of Monkey Prince, but now that I don't have Shang-Chi, I think I'm going to have to go back and maybe try to catch up on Monkey Prince.
Is a important player in the Lazarus Planet, and
awesome.
with the main villain King Fireball, and like
that's awesome. I mean, fun. And that might be why maybe he's like it's okay to to have Shang end for right now if he's like getting more involved in the DC side of things. But I got to tell you, like it was so fun having him on over there. Yeah. So I hope he gets another chance. I don't care if he writes for he doesn't have to write for Shang-Chi. He can write for any character at Marvel. I don't care.
Yeah, his Batman Superman World's Finest was a great series, so like he clearly has the chops to write for anybody.
He knows what he's doing. So like whatever he wants to write, I'll check it out. At the very least one issue. I'll 1 or 2 issues I'll be there for it. Well, because sometimes I don't like the character.
No, it's true.
What I mean? It has nothing to do with the writing.
Sometimes
I'm just like, I don't really connect. It's good writing, but I don't connect.
Yeah. Jose Rivera says, I watched some of your Spider-Man videos, which got me interested to play the PS4, which I loved. Now I'm into your ComicPop Plays videos. Thank you very much.
Oh my gosh,
that's right.
Thank you.
And if you'd like to see those, you can go to youtube.com at ComicPop Plays. Check out Tiffany's streams. Those are coming out every day this week, basically. And then it'll wrap up the Spider-Man run, and then we'll start with more VODs. Samurai Poet 713, would y'all object to a Superman submission? I can't accept Superman submissions because I don't publish Superman. If you're talking about in this episode, I mean, we don't really have time for that right now, but I do appreciate the idea. Outside of that, I mean, and DC will not accept unsolicited Superman submissions. So what I would recommend you do is hash it out, get it good, and then see if you can do it with a new character that you invent that's like Superman, and then just see if you can self-publish that. If you can't, that's fine, but don't get married to that idea. Don't sit on that idea for 6 years. Just work it out, get it good, see if it's something that you can make yourself. If you can't, then just hang on to it, put it in a drawer somewhere and wait. until the next thing that you create that is yours gets your foot in the industry, and then you can use it when you write Superman. Moon Knight 32, just dropping by to say hello to my favorite YouTubers. Well, I'm glad you could drop by. Hopefully you're here for at least an hour, because that's how long the show is. I just found my used copy of Bob Haney's Saga of the Super Sons at a disc replay. Got some late night reading to do now. Love the Hulk episode of GBU. Nice to know. I'm glad that you checked out that episode. It's a really fun episode. Thank you very much. And yeah, Super Sons, man, great series. What a waste. Jackson Boyd with some support. Thank you very much, Jackson. We really do appreciate it. And Chaticus says, I really enjoyed the Hulk Good, Bad, Ugly episode. Any thoughts on who should take over Hulk next? Mr. Peter David, maybe? Dude, at this point, I think that's probably a fantastic idea. I know that Peter David just had some health issues recently, but he is standing, and he's seemingly getting better. So I hope that he's in a place where he can write again. I would love to see him just jump on Peter David, jump on Hulk and do it again. Just keep going. Like, no provisions, no flashbacks, no symbiote Spider-Man, just Hulk now. That'd be really cool. And Jose Rivera says, what is that photo on the left of Wolverine standing behind you? Been driving me nuts for weeks, and I always forget to ask. That is Bone right there. That's actually a large, like an 11x17 print that I got from Jeff Smith's website.
Which I assume this is what you're talking about.
Yeah, that is Phone Bone being hunted by a rat creature. I discovered that Boneville, or whatever website Jeff Smith had before he did like the update a couple of years ago, hadn't updated it in 25 years. So I just ordered a lot of Bone stuff from like the mid 90s, and then they did the update to the website, and it's all gone. And I was like, well, I'm glad I got my cigar box and my statue and my posters.
Wow. I'm really surprised they weren't just give him a refund. We're not sending him anything.
That happened with one of those things.
Did it really?
Yeah.
What'd you get? What'd you order?
I don't remember.
Oh.
But I did get my Smiley Bone shirt people think is a Steven Universe shirt. And Good-Hearted Jake says, hey guys, Happy New Year. Happy New Year, you two. Invincible turns 20 this month. Any interest in covering more of it, or are you not interested? I am very not interested in doing any more Invincible. I don't like Invincible, so I'm not interested at all.
It's fair.
Kali Frederick loved The Dark Knights of Steel, White Knight, and Strange. Glad you enjoyed them. They're really good big books. What did I miss? Not much, man.
We're glad you're here.
But we're glad you're here. What do you got, Tiffany?
Okay. What do I got? I read X-Force this week.
Oh, well, is this the issue? No, there's another one where it's like the cover is Beast and Wolverine, and it's just like it's happening, baby.
No, that's not this.
No, this is something else.
Maybe that was I didn't read Wolverine.
This is the Peacock, man.
This is Ben Percy on writing, and Robert Gill on art. This is issue 36. Can't
believe the series been going on.
Good for them.
I know it is a feather in their cap. No pun intended. Awesome.
No, it's great. That's Zeno, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Not him. That's the organization. It's all the people. It's like a Court of Owls thing, but no.
Oh, okay.
It's not that at all.
But it's shorthand. You're not. It's not derisive. It's not.
I'm not
I'm just
being
saying.
derisive. I'm just
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what? This is starting to feel like Percy's trying to get some traction. I mean, he has not that he hasn't had traction, but there's some.
He looked at the number and he's like, "Oh my god, they're gonna cancel me before 50. I better freaking wrap this up."
Okay, here's what I'm actually thinking. I'm wondering what's gonna happen post Fall of X.
Yeah.
And so I'm wondering if he's not setting to motion certain things. Because we're definitely there are some plot things where I was kind of reading the intro thing. I like to remind myself by reading that, and I was like, oh yeah, whatever happened with this, and this issue's I didn't forget.
Yeah.
That's what this issue was.
Okay, cool.
This issue was I did not forget. Remember Colossus? That's a problem.
Yeah.
There was a kid stolen from one of the orphanage things or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't forget about that.
Oh.
None of that stuff's forgotten. The team right now, Beast is still on the team post having that crazy prison that he created.
Oh, did people find out about that?
Oh yeah, no, his whole team knows about it.
Oh, okay.
But he's still on the team.
Okay.
But they're giving him the silent treatment. Sage is kind of more in charge. And I'm like, okay, we're pushing Beast.
Yeah.
To do certain things. Yes. Here, right? The whole team's like, okay, but what does Sage think? Okay, but what does Sage want to do? And he's like, are you for real? So essentially, there was those Peacock guys, right? Yeah. And they were trying to in this they're clearly trying to they took Domino, remember? And
yes, they stripped her down. And
yeah, because they're selling off mutant organs and such and other things in order to give people
powers or something.
or advantages for like a month or so. It's like for a month, and then like, and then it goes away, and you got to pay some more. So it's like, oh, like you can have like youth or like long life or
luck or
whatever, like all kinds of things, or like healing factor. So they're trying to infiltrate, trying to get a little more information about that. And so Domino's going to go. They have to put like makeup on her to make her look like
she's not white.
Like there's pigmentation to her skin.
Sure.
And Omega Red and Deadpool are going to be her backup. There's a really, really fun moment for me in this between Omega Red and Deadpool where they're on a roof and they're like watching. He's watching Omega Red's keeping watch elsewhere. And Deadpool's just asking him about his name. Yeah. And he's like, Omega Red. He's like, does that mean like you're the ultimate red thing? He's like, because at the end of the day, if it's between you and a red panda, I'm voting for the red panda. And I was like, I really never thought about the idea of being Omega Red. Like, I'm the end all be all of red. Yeah.
I guess that's fair.
It was just funny.
Yeah, it's a cute little moment in an otherwise pretty dark book.
Yeah, so, the plane goes to hell in the handbasket. There's a moment in the art, though, in which Domino's in a restaurant. There's what looked to me like really tacky shark wallpaper, and it turns out it's an aquarium. And I was like, oh, okay. I kind of misread that art there. Yeah. But so sharks are involved in this issue as like she's attempting to make her escape.
Release the sharks.
She takes the heart that they present her as like, it's like, this is Wolverine's heart essentially. It's something they created. They also collect the goo of one of the guys who came to get him to get Omega Red and Deadpool, because when he was losing, he did his version of a cyanide capsule, which was he melted. So they're trying to examine that and figure out where it is that
what's up with the goo.
Yeah, what's up with the goo. Domino's reminded about what happened to her. She goes back to her home. She's like, I just want to sleep for a while. She finds this like painting in her bed, and it's like her in a tube. Like,
she should kill herself and then get Xavier to remove all that.
Just get it out. They can just do that now. They can just take that out. They don't need to do that.
Yeah, but isn't she all like?
And excuse me, you're supposed to say unalive yourself. You can't say that. Can't say that. It's listening.
Oh yeah,
you just got this suppressed. This whole video, no one's gonna ever see this now.
No one's seeing it anyway.
Well, now they're definitely not seeing it.
Yeah, now it's buried.
Yeah, way to go.
Sorry.
But she figures out that Colossus painted it. She's like, what the hell's up with that?
What are you doing,
so she goes out to where he is. He's in the Savage Land. He's been there. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's right. He killed that chick he was with.
Yeah.
I was like, whoosh. I'm like, oh, yeah. I'm like, oh my God, what about that? So she's like, what do you do? And he's like, I'm digging a ditch to get water to my crops. She's like, where's that lady of yours? Couldn't she do that? And he's like, she's not here.
Uh-huh.
And it turns out that like part of Pyotr is like trying to cry out and get help.
Right.
But like the part that's controlling him,
it won't let him.
And I'm like, all right, okay. So they decide that like Beast comes up with this plan where they're going to put an egg, like one of eggs, gold balls, eggs.
He calls himself Egg now, which is worse.
Into the black market so that they figure Xeno will purchase it and then they'll be able to track them.
Okay.
But they're like Beast's like, don't worry, they can't use it. We made sure they can't use it. It's not going to be used.
Sure.
But like when they try to, it's going to activate a transmitter. We're going to find it. Besides, if they wanted to like resurrect people, they need like a powerful psychic. And trust me,
it's not like there's a million of those.
They have all like that kid was that they took. And I'm like, okay.
You're an idiot, Beast.
But like I was
or he's deliberately
I was like, wow. Like Ben Percy's like, no, I didn't forget.
Right.
We're coming to it.
Yeah.
Don't worry.
The trick is actually Beast is in there. He's like, no, I'm going to leave here and I'm going to join this organization.
Right.
And they're going to resurrect me into that.
Yeah. Right. So.
Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dope.
Yeah. Dope.
Like
Good.
It's dope in terms of like, I'm like, Ben,
he remembers everything.
Where are we going with this? We gotta fix Colossus. We gotta get him back to where he was. He's gonna have a real hard time with that unless they remove those memories.
Which they probably won't.
Like he's gonna have a real hard time about that one. And I'm like, Beast, what are we gonna do about Beast? Are we ever gonna have friendly Beast again? Probably not.
Probably not.
And then the kid.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, let's do this.
X-Force, number 36. Joey Mamorum says, greetings. Any plans for
Hello.
more Redux episodes in the vein of Onslaught? Happy New Year. Thank you, man. Yeah, we're definitely going to do more.
Yeah, he said he wants
Thorn
to do that.
Identity, nothing salient to add. Just Happy New Year. Happy New Year
Happy
too,
New
man. Good to
Year.
see you. I hope you had a great holiday. Thank you so much for being here, dude. Rishi Venkatesh, I love back issues on Superman's Secret Identity and Smashes the Clan, 2 stories that encapsulate the big blue Boy Scout that I love. Yeah, one of these days we'll get to those. Superman's tough, but I will definitely eventually. Those are 2 books that are on the list.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Data East, Captain America: The Avengers was playing on the X-Men cabinet. It has 3 games in that thing. I think we're good. Yeah, I read Gotham City Year One, number 4 from Tom King and Phil Hester. I think I talked about this in the last week, but now that this book's actually been out, I can talk about it some more. The art's fantastic. Phil Hester, top of his game. Great stuff. The series is so dark and so cool. This is the first issue where we finally actually get where I was reminded of the title of the book, because for the most part, this has been kind of like a Batman is talking to Slam Bradley, who's now an old man. Slam Bradley, of course, being an old Detective Comics character from back in the day. This is seeing that Slam in the prime of his life doing his thing as a private detective during, like, a turning point in Gotham's history. But you're really just reading it for it being like a noirish detective story, like a private detective kind of like hard-boiled black and white kind of story. This issue in particular, it's like, oh, like there are reveals in here that I'm not going to, because it's so worth having on your own.
Okay.
But like moments where I go, oh yeah, like where I knew what, and like it's rare that an author / artist can bring you on the journey where you are in lockstep with the story, and you know what the next line is going to be, and as you're thinking it draws your eye to the text of the line. And I'm like, thank you. Good stuff. All right.
Yay.
It's great stuff. And, but yeah, and it's finally like coming to a head. I don't remember how many more issues there are. I think it's 6. Yep. There's 6 issues of this series. And they'll never do any more. Somebody asked where to start with Shang-Chi. So I wanted to mention, like, you should check out the first series, which is called Shang-Chi, and it's 12 issues.
Yes, the first one says it's like Shang-Chi versus the Marvel Universe.
That one came out in 2021, July of 21.
Which I think that's probably the collection it's put into. So if you want to grab the volume, I would start there, because I know it's confusing because they kept relaunching it each time they went to the next arc, but it's all one cohesive arc, or not like one cohesive story. I wouldn't
be the least bit surprised if it was if they were 2 volumes to this, because it's 6 issues, just to get a little bit more money out of you. But yes, this started in July of 2021. Started as Shang-Chi, no other things.
Yeah, so that's Shang-Chi.
Yeah. Then they had a digital series called Shang-Chi, and that was all it was called.
That's 20. Oh, is that from 2020? That's from
2021. And that, or 2020 to 2021, and that was a 6-issue series,
which I did not read.
No, which is really frustrating.
I know, because I didn't even know about it.
And then there was, in September 2022, Shang-Chi and the 10 Rings.
Yes.
And that was 6 issues. And then there was Shang-Chi, Master of the 10 Rings, which is just a 1 issue. Done in 1. So that's where you start. Cat Lawyer will defend for treats. Finally caught you live. I just read Captain Marvel Axe tie-in. It was great. The cat gets judged, and it's fun. Any other Axe tie-ins that I should pick up? Any of them written by Kieran Gillen.
Oh, for sure.
Would be worth checking out.
Any of the X-Men Red
stuff
is absolutely incredible, for sure. That's not Kieran Gillen on that, but it's excellent. It's excellent. Gillen's Immortal X-Men is excellent as well for that. I'm trying to think of any of the other ones I read.
Yeah.
Obviously, I like the Eternals ones.
Oh, of course.
But that's up to you. I don't force the Eternals on anybody. It's not for everybody.
Langley M. Neely says, I just wanted to say hello and send some well-deserved shekels your way. A really stressful time has finally gotten better for me. Well, I'm glad to hear that, man. Thank you so much for your support. Also, thanks for recommending Human Target. I'm absolutely loving it. I knew you would. You would. Thank you so much, man. Appreciate it. And welcome back. Glad you're back.
Yeah, absolutely.
What else did you read?
I read X-Men Red.
Oh, is Omega Red in this?
No.
Weird.
It's written by Al Ewing with art by Stefano Caselli and Jacopo Camagni.
Okay.
Magni. I don't know.
Yeah.
Listen, last time we were promised a fight between Storm and Vulcan, and we
Yes.
get part of it.
Oh,
It's fine. We don't really. It's
not important.
I forgive this 100% because it starts with a poem, and I was like, someone had to write this. Someone
Yeah,
had
Al
to
Ewing
write
wrote it.
a poem because Lotus Logos is one of the Iraqi
Yes.
mutants, and that's part of his powers that he like writes, and like so you had to write this poem, and it's freaking awesome. I was like, yes. I was like, well, I don't think we're going to see much of this fight, and I'm okay with that.
Right. Where's Al Ewing's book of poetry?
Right? I don't know. Here's part of it.
Okay.
For the soul of this world, the storm stood fast against the summer. I was like,
oh, you smarty.
I was like, damn, I like that a lot. Anyway, but we get Cable continuing to try to figure out what's up with Abigail Brand, and essentially stop her from putting the Shi'ar against the Kree.
Yep.
And it all falls apart in her face because she hired Mentalo because he's a mercenary. So she's like, I'm the highest bidder, and then it turns out he's not.
What a shock!
Roberto is.
Oh, yay! Good for Roberto.
He shows up. He's like, hey, he's got Deathbird and Xandra with him, and Abigail's like, I really thought I killed you. But no, but Xandra's like, no, it's cool because Cable's actually like communicating everything to me that he's seeing. So I actually know everything you tried to do.
Oh, cool. It's all coming together.
Yeah. And so she's like,
burn. And then
no, she uses Cable's ability to like teleport, like sidestep kind of thing. And she gets out of there.
Okay.
So Abigail gets away.
Oh.
But she runs into the Fisher King who gives her a hard time about it. But nothing really happens there. They just have a conversation that I think makes her really unsettled. And we do get some of the fight, admittedly. What's really important is what is in the orb. Remember there was the orb? What was in the orb? We all wanted to know. Okay. Cable tried punching the orb.
I don't really remember that, but okay.
That was a big question about like who is it, because there was a character in the orb, and I think
what orb?
Or I think it's Orbis Stellaris or Stellaris Orbis. I don't remember the order of words. They were part of like they showed up with a bunch of like created beings that were trying to assassinate. I can't remember if it was Xandra or if it was somebody on Araco. But essentially it was like the question of who like the orb was in charge, who's in the orb, right? And so the orb opens up because it needs a new orb, and inside is Nathan Essex.
Oh no.
I'm like, but like old Nate. I'm like, who are you?
Who are you?
And I'm like, right, Al Ewing is involved with the Sins of Sinister.
That's great. That's like the Clone Saga.
Yeah, so I'm like,
if you're not me, then who am I? That's what I'd like to know.
I freaking love it. I love it.
Yay.
So yeah, Orbis Stellaris. There
I thought it was gonna be Magneto.
No, Eric's still dead.
Yeah, sure. I guarantee you isn't.
Some great stuff here for Storm, by the way.
Yeah, good. All right.
So if you're just like, man, I just love Storm being a badass.
Yeah, I mean, who doesn't?
It's it. Like Vulcan, like, she gets some good. And oh, by the way, Araco, like a lot of the leadership of Araco,
it's changed.
Learns that helping isn't the worst thing ever. Like getting help is not horrible.
All right, that's nice.
That like maybe that's like the future, the evolution for Araco. And
maybe like, Christmas perhaps means a little bit more.
Yes.
Yay!
Hooray!
All right, good.
Yeah. So it's to be continued. And I'm like, eventually this book is gonna go away. At least for Sins of Sinister, it's gonna become. I think it's gonna become that Brotherhood thing. So we'll see what happens.
Okay. I think I talked about this last week, but I'm going to mention it again. Batman 131, Chip Zdarsky, Mike Hawthorne now on art. Batman was shot by, what's his name? Failsafe and sent to another dimension, another reality, another Earth. He was sent through the multiverse, and now he's on another Earth.
He's sent somewhere. I don't know.
He's on another Earth.
Maybe.
He's in. I mean, it's an alternate Earth. That's the idea.
I guess. There was an element. I read this.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, what'd you think?
There was an element to this where I was like, is it?
Right. I mean, it could be like he's in the cave and he's in some kind of matrix or something like that. I think that Batman reasons that Failsafe sends him to a world where there is no Batman so that he can be useful. That
Mhm.
he can change the world by being Batman. Like here's a
Yeah,
here's a
no,
Gotham where there's no Batman.
that's what it seemed like. But then the skeleton Gordon, I was like, are you like a dead man character?
Right? No, I love Skeleton Gordon. Yeah, he's great. Although, I think that Skeleton Gordon should be Alfred, since Gordon isn't dead and Alfred is. Like it's like, it's the image of death, but the image of dead Gordon as a skeleton with a mustache is, hard to beat. And it's really fun. I really like how.
And he can smoke because he's a skeleton.
That's right. Yeah, but
It's
I really love.
okay.
No, he smokes in the regular books.
Oh, does he?
Oh yeah. No,
Oh, I
this is
thought
a
they weren't.
Marvel book. We can get away with
Oh,
smoking.
okay,
Our heroes can still smoke. They're even though in the Marvel universe, like our heroes are flawed. God help you if you smoke. Especially people made of rocks or people with immortality. Those people can definitely not smoke.
You don't want to smoke. Don't smoke.
Well, don't glorify it. Certainly.
Yeah.
I get it. But like,
I mean, here, and by the way, I don't take my like questioning as to what's actually happening in this book
as canon,
or as
condemnation of
yeah.
the book.
I really enjoyed it. It was great.
Well, I'm glad you liked it.
It's a fast read.
It is a fast read. Yeah, no, it is.
It's well paced, but it is a fast read for sure.
Yeah, and it's fun because it takes the idea of like any Elseworlds-esque Batman book, but puts Batman like real Bat. It's like I'm so used to. Oh no, it's Harvey Dent, but he's doing that, but he's on Venom, and it's like, oh no, it's Catwoman, but this, and it's like, all right, but it's great to see Batman go, oh no, this is new to me, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. You don't remember when you were a priest in in a theocracy, or like when you were a Frankenstein monster, or when you were in the 1600s fighting Jack the Ripper.
Right.
Nobody remembers any of that.
I also noticed based on his image there that Mike Hawthorne kind of looks like Judge Dent.
Yeah. Yeah, he does.
There's nothing wrong with that. It's fine.
But yeah, good issue overall. I enjoyed it. I like this new status quo. And of course, Tim Drake is like, I'm looking for Batman. And I'm like, I remember what he did that the last time Batman got hit by a laser beam and sent through time or space. And Tim Drake's like, no. And I'm like, yep. But it's like, it's in keeping with his character. I'm like, yeah, no. I would have appreciated at least a line where he's like, I did this already. But I mean, if that happened throughout all of Chip Zdarsky's run, I think you wouldn't have a lot of room for other things.
Yeah,
if he kept referring to things that he was already doing.
Exactly.
But yeah, good issue.
It was good.
It's worth jumping on.
Absolutely.
I think it's worth checking out.
No, I agree.
Vincent Brown, love the Orbis reveal.
Yeah.
X-Men Red has maintained an awesome momentum, which is fun to see carried into the Sins of Sinister. Excited to see the reveal of Sinister number 4, whomever he or she might be.
Yeah, I am. I can't wait for Sins of Sinister. It's just 3 writers I really like just taking this on, and I'm like, yes. Yes. I also hate Sinister, but I love him. I love to hate him.
He's the character you love to hate.
He is a character I love to hate. Like, I really am like, yay, I hate you. You're such a jerk.
Yeah.
But we're going to get 4 of them? Yeah.
What are you reading, Tiffany?
That's it for me.
Okay, great. Then we can talk about Spider-Man number 4 from Dan Slott and Mark Bagley. This is the, as I've said before, many occasions, the Jay Leno show before Conan's Tonight Show. And that's not really an apt description, because I don't think that the current Amazing Spider-Man by Zeb Wells is comparable to Conan's Tonight Show, which I think was the best Tonight Show's been since Johnny Carson. But
I don't like this cover.
Oh no, it's awful. The whole damn thing is just an embarrassment.
And that's a shame.
Yeah, it is a damn shame. The thing is, Mark Bagley's on this book, so the book doesn't delay. But as a consequence, he's got to go fast. And
he's Sonic the Hedgehog.
Gotta go fast. But like the problem is when Mark Bagley is rushed, it's gonna look like that. And he's got to write, and he's got to draw like 17 spider people on every page. And this book, I said I'd quit, but I read that there was a thing, and I'm like, all right, let me take a look at this. And I'm like, this is why I quit the book. It's oof. So it's this touts itself as like the end of Spider-Verse. And it's like, okay. I mean, if you want to go out for one last ride, I get it.
Last ride.
I know, yeah. But like, if that's what you want to do, do it over there. I do appreciate them like kind of keeping it self-contained in like a mini series,
right?
Especially with consistent art. It's Mark Bagley the whole time. Cool, good. And with Mark Bagley, it will never be late. It will never have a fill-in artist. And Mark Bagley's a definitive Spider-Man artist. So like, I get it. Makes sense to me. I'm fine with that. but nothing is happening.
Oh,
It's just a whole bunch of stuff like just thrown at the page. Like Craven as a spider person, Felicia Hardy as a spider person. The only person who's not a spider person is Mary Jane in this damn
I like
thing.
to think that Craven became a spider person from that time.
That he killed Spider-Man and then drank all that venom from that
Yeah.
little like dish.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
I hope that's what
you
it is.
can't do that. You can become a spider person then.
Yeah, blah. That's why our Craven didn't become a spider person, because he spat it out. But yeah, this is I mean it's not embarrassing. It's not a failure. It's not falling on its face. But it's not the kind of Spider-Man book that I would ever want to read.
Mhm.
Like every time that Spider-Man's like, "Oh no, you're a magic important character," like my eyes glaze over. But then to have in the last issue Peter Parker Spider-Man go, "I'm the chosen one," I'm like, okay, so what are you doing? Like you can read what you can telegraph what Dan Slott's doing. It's like, what are you setting up? And then he gets stabbed by a special knife. And he's unraveled. Now Peter Parker never existed. And I'm like, okay, now I'm really not interested. But
But you still read it.
yeah, well, only because I heard there was a thing at the end of this.
Is
And
there
it's-
a thing?
Yeah, it sucks. It's not worth reading. It's not
Mhm.
worth picking up because it's not a
Mhm.
big fun reveal. It's the one true Spider. I'm just joking around. Like it's Dan Slott and two other people remember that there was a misprint in one of the original like run of the Ditko Lee era of Spider-Man, in which Lee's like, I don't care who this character is, Peter Parker, Peter Palmer, whatever. And so but it happened, and it's canon that at one point Spider-Man was referred to as Peter Palmer. So this is Peter Palmer, the Spider-Man, with no hyphen. And he looks and acts exactly like Spider-Man, but his last name's Palmer. And it's like and the art homage is like Ditko.
This is in canon.
I mean, it's like it becomes canon because it's here now. And Slott actually had already made this reference like back when he was doing Superior, when Doc Ock like undid like Peter Parker's memories and the manifestation of him of Peter Parker. When Peter is like losing all of his memories and he's forgetting everything, he's like, I remember my name. It's Peter Palmer, and I'm like, oh, that's fun. What a fun little homage. But now now we're far beyond homages. It's just he's a character now. And it's like, what's he gonna do? He's gonna be part of the thing. And oh boy, like I it's unpredictable, and it's because it's just a mess. It's just a bunch of blah, like just a lot of crap on the screen. Morlun's working with them and fighting Shathra, but like if you actually remember when Shathra was invented and created, like she was one of like the prelude characters that harbinged the end, and the real threat was Ezekiel, but he's not in this either. So whatever, I don't know. It's just like I don't know. It's just a bunch of stuff that happens. It's like the worst thing about comic books where you're just like, oh, this is I have no favorite character. I have no moment that stands out, and each new effort to like introduce a spider person is just another, like whether it is true or not, it feels like it's just another attempt to ring the Spider-Gwen bell. Can lightning strike twice? Friggin' Bendis made that Miles Morales. I can make a Miles Morales, and I invented Spider-Gwen, even though all I did was ask them to draw a cover, and I didn't write the issue that she was introduced into. But here she is anyway. And here's another one. He's a gay Spider-Man. How about that? I'm the one who invented the gay Spider-Man, who's also a fashion designer, so it's not stereotypical in any way. Like, cool. And by the way, he's actually a fun design. I have no problem with him.
Which one?
He's the yellow one. But,
Okay.
it's like, okay, but he doesn't do anything. He doesn't say anything. He doesn't bring anything to the table. Like, no character has enough moments except for the Black Cat Spider-Man, which, like, I don't think is the one he's trying to push.
Okay.
She just happens to end up being that. Also, I think we've reached the end of Julia Carpenter being Madam Web. And I don't mean like story-wise. I mean as far as the audience's patience is concerned. I think we've done all we can with Julia Carpenter as Madam Web at this point.
Time to make Aunt May out Madam Web.
Well, we talked about that
I
on
know.
some show. We were like, man,
was it a show? I thought you and I were just talking.
They were
in the
just
car.
riffing, but yeah, like how come you suggested it? You were like, how is Aunt May an alternate reality? Is Madam Web an alternate reality Madam Web?
That's what I asked. I'm like, because they often look similar.
Yeah, and it's like, oh, she is now. Like they will do that one day. They'll be like, oh yeah, no, Aunt May, it's me. Madam Web will be like, it's me, Aunt May, it was me from another reality where Peter died and I took on this thing.
Yeah. So I'm doing this now.
So I'm doing this now. So she's already dead, and she's been dead for a long time.
They let her
But
go.
like, just bring
So
her
clearly
back.
she's not an Aunt May then.
Right, because they would never let.
Because Aunt May is like the juggernaut.
Yeah, you can't stop her.
Someone, I think it was Langley, mentioned that it's Peter Palmer is Laura Palmer's New York City cousin. I'm like,
yeah, he's like Maddie. He's the twin.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's, and I'm not like doing this book just to be like, boo, but like I had to pick it up, and I'm like, you know what? I didn't like them. I didn't like this run. Let's just bomb in and see how it's going. Oh, it's the same. So like, you probably won't see me talk about this book anymore.
Okay.
Unless they have some massive reveal, in which case we'll see how it goes. But like at this point, I think we're all good, with this.
This whole thing.
With this whole thing with Spider-Verses and Dan Slott writing it and all that. Living Freak says, I know Sal was looking for suggestions when it comes to future back issues episodes that he might regret. How about the Clone Saga stories? But this time, try to get into the weeds with some of the more sillier stories. Well, Planet of the Symbiotes is going to be an episode we do one day. So, hang in there. Thank you very much for your support, by the way. Mordecai, my reaction to this Palmer BS is just, okay, I guess. Yeah, that's what this book is. Just, okay, I guess. I guess Spider-Man can cast a shadow that doesn't cast shadows on anything else in the room. Just...
He is the shadow.
He is the shadow. Is he two-dimensional? And anyway, Ethan Ainsworth, been a sec since I could afford to donate. Well, listen, man, we appreciate you just watching the show, but thank you. Thanks for keeping me company while I recover from COVID.
Oh.
You and 80 Spidey comics are keeping me sane. Well, I wish you an uneventful and speedy recovery. Thank you so much for your support, man. And I'm glad that we could be likened in the same sentence as 80 Spider-Man comics. So pretty dope. So now it comes the part of the show where we recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out.
Let's do it.
Amazing Spider-Man 17 is coming out. It's just more, dark web. We'll see what the next one. Spider-Man should be in limbo. So, we'll see what Zeb Wells has to say about Spider-Man being in limbo. It's not quite hell, but it is limbo. So we'll see how that goes. Daredevil 7. It's from the reboot. I was like, 7? I'm like, oh yeah, that's right. They rebooted it. It's coming out.
Oh yeah.
It's such a different place from where it was when it started, which is not a bad thing. You should be reading this book. Human Target 10. I've read it. It's as phenomenal as the last 9.
I saw this cover. I was like, is
that Nort? Oh no! And that's what the book is. It's just like, oh no. Now things. It's like the book suggests, like things are serious because Nort's here.
No one thinks anything serious when Nort is here.
So if you want to see Chance and Nort get drunk together, you'll read Human Target 10. But don't read it without reading issues 1 through 9. Great series. Predator number 6. It's the end of Predator. It's the end of this series. We'll see if we get another one. I hope it's sold well enough. I don't know. I like this book a little bit. So, whatever. Lazarus Planet Alpha number 1. This is the beginning of Lazarus Planet. I'm so like, oh my God, the way they number these books. Like, this is Lazarus Planet Alpha number 1. That's the first part of Lazarus Planet. This is Lazarus Planet Part 1. It should just say Lazarus Planet Part 1. But it doesn't. But it is. So, if you want to know what's going on with Lazarus Planet, read it. And if you want to know what Mark Waid has to say about it, you should watch my interview with Mark Waid, which comes out tomorrow or today if you're watching the show around 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Tuesday. But check out Lazarus Planet. Danger Street number 2. It's a good book. I just don't really care. But this is probably my last time to recommend it unless I read it. And I'm like, oh, never mind.
Okay.
It could be great. I don't know.
That's fair.
I'm like, this is fine.
Anything else?
I don't know. You're scrolling too fast. But like,
sorry, I'm
Dark Ride number 4. I haven't read the last 3 or 2, I should say. I read Dark Ride 1, and then I dropped off. But I enjoyed it.
That's fine. I feel like you just talked about that, but I guess you didn't.
No, I didn't. But I will read it. So I'm going to read the next ones and see how that goes because I did like Dark Ride. It's not my usual fare, so I want to see how it goes.
Okay. There you go. That's an independent book you're reading.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, it's true. Whoa, I'm pulling my weight. Not really. How about you, Tiffy? What do you recommend?
Okay, so I've fallen off this book, but I still want to give a shout out to Ghost Rider because Ben Percy was doing a good job on that one. So Ghost Rider number 10 is coming out.
I can't wait. I love that cover.
It's crazy.
Yeah, just screaming.
I
mean, all skulls are.
If you want to read more X-Men stuff, Wolverine number 29 is coming out. Another one of the books that has managed to get to a higher number, also written by Ben Percy.
Where's the Wolverine Ghost Rider crossover book?
I know, because Ben ran them both.
I know.
I think
Cates couldn't avoid doing an event.
I thought he did show up at least in one issue.
I think he did, but like that's not
but
the same thing.
It's not like
Wolverine versus Ghost Rider.
throw the Punisher in there.
I
We
know.
already did that.
Right? And Ghost
Heart
Rider,
of
you know,
Darkness.
Punisher now he's like a hand ninja and stuff.
Yeah, actually, that could work out.
Yeah, another Heart of Darkness. A
Make that
third,
happen.
fourth one? I don't know.
Whatever. I think it's the
I think
maybe
it'd be
the
the
third
fourth one because the
No, there's a
there are only two. And I
yeah.
think they did another one that was like really lame. Don't you remember like there being like a thing?
Yeah.
They called the book a Hearts of Darkness or something, and you were like, "Oh, shut up."
Yeah, but I don't think Wolverine was really involved.
Well, that sucks.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Moon number 19 is coming out, written by Jed McKay with art by Alessandro Capuccio.
Good.
So, yeah, good stuff all around. Good art on that book.
You've been enjoying this book for 19 issues.
19 whole issues. It's not bad. It's fun.
It's a good run for Moon Knight.
Yeah, it's fun to discover new things. I mean that.
It's fun to visit people. It's fun to visit your friends at Christmas.
Okay, you know what?
There's this. Okay,
I'm
so
ending this broadcast.
no, one of our favorite Christmas specials of all time is the Muppet Family Christmas, which Tiffany introduced me to. I'd never seen it before, and if you've never ever seen it, watch it without looking up anything about it. If you have a family member or a friend who's never seen it and you know loves the Muppets, don't tell them anything about it at all. I promise you, your patience will be rewarded if you watch it with them. But just make them watch it. Don't tell them anything about it. Don't even tell them you're going to show it to them, and then watch it. It's amazing. It was an amazing experience. That damn thing.
It was
with
incredible.
no context. I'm like,
loved it.
oh, cool. Okay, there goes the place. Fozzie's mom. But anyway, Robin goes into a special place that's like an interesting location, and he brings Kermit along, and they have this fun adventure. Then they leave, and it's mind bending what happens. And Robin goes like, "Can't you believe that, Uncle Kermit?" And Kermit says, "It's fun to visit friends at Christmas." And I'm like, what a dismissive thing to say.
He's like, shut up.
Like, what an understatement. It's like a non sequitur. Like, he's just like, he's not listening.
Yeah.
He doesn't want to listen to Robin. It was just like, it's such a, but I love that as a line that's just like,
yeah, just very like,
just very
hand-waving.
dismissive.
Just,
yeah, it's fun to visit friends at Christmas.
Yeah, shut up. X-Men 18 is coming out, written by Jerry Duggan with art by Carlos Villa.
It's about damn time.
Yeah.
In a minute, I'm gonna read X-Men number 18.
I think there's gonna be more. Okay.
Nice.
Listen, Sync's got a lot going on right now, and I'm very interested to see what's going on with him. It seems like there's gonna be a spotlight issue for him.
Maybe Scott will lend him his big sex room on the moon.
You mean his house?
Yeah, that's the one.
Legion of X number 9 is coming out. It's written by Cy Spurrier with art by Netho Diaz. This book, man, this book makes me feel like I'm not the smart person ever.
Yeah.
Which with comments like that, how could you think otherwise?
Yeah.
No, seriously though, this book is incredible. It gets a little heady at times. You know, there's a lot going on. Spurrier's a great writer though, and it's a great book, and I do recommend it though. You know, it's not, you're not gonna like just eat through it necessarily, unless in this issue it's a knockout, drag out. Kind of
knock down.
No, we're dragging out.
No, we're knocking out and dragging down.
No, we're knocking out and dragging out.
Oh, okay, both out.
I'm putting them in the backyard. No one's gonna find them ever again.
Knock down, dig, grave fight.
Knock out, dig deep.
Dig deep. There we go.
Drag out.
Knock down, drag out, dig deep fight.
You don't want that kind of fight.
No.
But I do like this book, especially if you enjoy Nightcrawler. You might dig this as well. I also want to tell you that Something's Killing the Children is coming out this week, and Boneyard Mythos. So you can check that out.
We had one more that was from Living Freak, who said, "Is Ghost Rider really screaming, or is that just his jaw has no tendons or ligaments, so he hangs agape?" I mean, look, you're one potato.
Yeah,
you know
I mean,
what
like, I think you need to be actually making noise unless you're silent screaming.
Yeah, like that skull in Army of Darkness when they're panning over the crowd, and one of them clearly the puppet broke, and then they just ADR to.
It's just hissing.
That's just, you know what that is? That's just making lemons out of lemonade.
You just
Man.
gotta make it work.
Anyway, apropos of Sam Raimi, it's over! We'll see you guys next time with another episode of Off the Rack. Thanks so much for watching this video. Despite our technical issues, which are still not resolved, I'm going to have to contact StreamYard directly and see what the hell their problem is. But otherwise, I want to thank our Super Chatters for sponsoring today's show. Thank you very much to our subscribers for watching and subscribing and clicking the bell and liking the video and all that stuff. And we'll see you guys here on ComicPop Returns for more. Tomorrow, Mark Waid interview. Thursday, huge X-Men conversation. And when I say huge, I mean it's like a 30-minute episode, but which I cut down from like an hour and a half.
Thank you.
But still a great conversation. A good-looking show because a lot of Tiffany in it. But good, really insightful. It's the X-Men Destiny of X report card. We're going to grade the quality of the Destiny of X period. You want to talk about being an expert? We claim to be some while we pass judgment on the entire line of X-Men.
There are more qualified folk, but
No,
we did our best.
They're not putting their foot forward. They're not sitting there planting their flags. We're deciding what the letter grade is for Destiny of X, and you get to participate in the comments, or in the comments and in the community tab on that same day.
Yeah, please do.
We're gonna see your opinions on it. But
Yes.
Thanks a lot for watching, everybody, so long. And watch Tiffany on twitch.tv/ComicPop for more, and youtube.com/@ComicPop Plays. Yeah, that's right. I said /@ because that's what it actually is. It's dumb AF. I don't get it. But yeah, we'll see you later. So long, everybody. Bye.
Bye.